Welcome to the Interrogation True Crime Stories podcast. All the stories told on this show are either fabricated, alleged, or didn't happen at all and shouldn't be used in the court of law. We hope. Welcome to the Interrogation True Crime Stories podcast. My name is Corey David. I am down in Albuquerque, New Mexico right now. This place is interesting to say the least, as I'm sure my guest could probably speak to a little bit more. Very excited to have you on the show today. Josh Fournier, everybody.
What's up, man? Hey, we're in Albuquerque where crime lives.
Dude, this place, it lives and breathes crime. I feel like even the most wholesome person here has committed at least one felony.
Yeah, this place is I don't know, man. Albuquerque, crime happens here. You know what I'm saying? Like, our main exports are like green chili and murder.
And meth, apparently.
And meth, dude. Yeah.
Was that like real before the whole Breaking Bad thing? Like,
Yeah.
was it as bad? Like, it was based very much in truth.
It was basically a documentary. You know
Yeah?
what I'm saying? Yeah. We just don't put heads on turtles, or at least I don't see it. But
At least I don't see it, but it's just a fun idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The meth thing is real.
Because the thing is, like, so you grew up not in Albuquerque, right? But like
No. I grew up on the reservation, but also my mom lived in like the worst neighborhood here.
Really?
Did
you say it was called the War Zone?
They call it the War Zone.
What a
dude.
fucking that's not a trendy name for a neighborhood.
Yeah, dude, that's beautiful. You want to go? Yeah,
Yeah, there's definitely not a lot of dog bakeries in the War Zone and yoga studios.
There still is not a single brewery in the War Zone today, so that's how you know that shit is wild.
Yeah, because they just want to pop up wherever places are trendy and cool.
They tried to like gentrify it, like they built like motels and stuff in the War Zone, and it just immediately succumbed to what that neighborhood is.
Yeah, it's just full of bullet holes.
Full of
we've passed some motels and some hotels here. We thought this one was kind of sketch a little bit. We were like, oh, it was, you know how when you're on the road, it's like a nice surprise when you roll up to a hotel and you're like, okay, thank God.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, you were in a pretty decent spot. I mean, I was kind of worried. I'm worried when all the homies come to Albuquerque. I'm like, where are you staying? That's like the second thing I
know.
asked.
That's like one of the first things you asked me.
Where you staying at? Because this place, I don't for real. The Albuquerque is like number one in the country for like car thefts.
Really?
So that's why I was like, oh, where are you staying at? Because if they don't take your car, they will break into it at least.
Yeah, get something out of it. What do you think the deal is with? I mean, was Albuquerque at one point like ever like a thriving, like safe city, or has it been like kind of like a little more dangerous for a while?
I don't think so. I think it's always been dangerous. There's just always that influence of cartels. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was wondering, is that a for real presence like in the city?
I mean, not like huge, you know what I'm saying, but it does have an influence, and like the up and coming, like the South Valley definitely has a cartel influence. Like there's some homes in the South Valley where like that's where I went to school, was in the South Valley. So like even people around there were like, you know, that's like El Chapo's like cousin's house right there.
It's just got a nice little place in New Mexico.
It's just like a dingy neighborhood,
sure.
And then all of a sudden you get like this giant house with like a ranch.
Something suspicious.
Yeah, and then like dingy homes and another giant home with just a ranch and horses, and then we like
the kind of house that you'd be like, this should get robbed, but nobody's
messing with it, dude. And it's like in the neighborhood, like this neighborhood is not good. Like why would you have just a big mansion here?
And of course, a couple horses just for good measure.
Horses, dude. You know what I'm saying? And people like everyone like
just horses.
Because like I lived here in the War Zone, and like you just grow up. I remember one time we came home and like these like SA fools had like AKs, and they're like, yo, you can't come down this road yet. So we're looking for something. So just wait or go around to a different road, because they had blocked off. Crime was so bad in my neighborhood, they had to put up barriers on like every other road, kind of like so when people would run from the police, it kind of helps. You can't go
funnel them into certain places.
Go around. So they built.
Wow, and I thought cops were dumb.
No, yeah, no.
They actually thought about this.
They thought about this because this neighborhood is so bad. So to go into our street, there's a barrier, so we had to go down the street before. But then they had like SA fulls of like AKs. They're like, yeah, you like, hold on, you can't come through here.
Yeah, just give us a couple minutes. Grandma's coming through.
Yeah, we're gonna. So that neighborhood is just awful, dude. I remember like a meth lab blew up next to like.
Those are always fun.
They exploded, and the guy came to our like close, because we were like the closest thing to this fire, and he's like, "Can I borrow your fire extinguisher?" And we had those. He's
the one that was cooking it.
The little tiny like kitchen extinguisher, not even like a real one, just a kitchen one. And he's like, I need your fire extinguisher. And I remember my mom was like, it's not gonna help you put out your giant flame.
You think that's gonna help?
Yeah, you need to call the police.
This is why they have fire trucks.
Call the fire department. He's like, no, just let me use your fire extinguisher. We had a tiny little one, like almost like a joke fire extinguisher.
I mean, that's meth logic.
That's meth logic.
You're like, can I get this comically small fire extinguisher for my house that just exploded? I've seen one of those before too. When I was in Illinois when I had like this door-to-door sales job when I was in college. And we were walking around the suburban neighborhood, and there was just like a hole in the ground where a house should be, right? And we asked one of the neighbors, and we're like, what happened? And the lady just went, boom. That's all she said.
Hell yeah, dude.
Just cooking meth. I remember there was a meth problem, like, I mean, there still kind of is, like back where I'm from in upstate New York. And it was kind of like right around the Breaking Bad like era. It was just like a lot of it just influenced a lot of people to kind of take, like, be entrepreneurs and take it upon themselves. And people were cooking it in their cars. Wow. So that like they were never like stationaries for people to catch them, but then cars were just blowing up like all over the fucking place.
Is it the mob? No, that's just Skeeter. He's making meth again.
Yeah, it's just some lunatic that's trying to get $50 to go buy more drugs. Because apparently you need like it needs to be stable. Like you can't having it shake around, and I guess that's the chemistry of it.
Dude,
science was never my strong suit.
Like everyone we're 50th in education, but we can make some meth, dude. Mm-hmm. Like our chemistry is off the chain.
Everybody's good at different things.
Everyone's good. I heard this weird fact. Like where my family's from is a town called Farmington, New Mexico. I heard Farmington is like the #1 place where people do meth in the country. Yeah,
it must be good. I wonder if it's good.
Weird fact that I heard is that like Farmington does more meth than like anywhere else in the country.
Makes sense. Have you ever done meth on purpose?
Never done meth, dude.
Have you ever done Molly?
Never. No.
Okay, because I always tell people if you've done Molly more than 5 times, you have also done meth. It's statistically impossible. Like they mix that shit.
I barely started smoking weed like 2 years ago.
Yeah, so drugs were just like never your
Not
thing.
a thing, dude. But I know how to make like.
You're like the
this
chef.
Is weird, dude. Yeah, dude. But I know how to make like the Gatorade bottle meth because like people like just like make cheap meth.
Did people just like? Was it just like around all the time?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure my brothers have done. Well, one of my brothers have done meth. I'm positive he has. But like it's just like my brother was like he was. I have like 3 older brothers, and they're all crazy, and they have all been to prison for this, that, or the other.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that.
Oh yeah. I remember like as a kid, because like they're not my blood brothers, they're like my cousin brothers, but in native shit, it's like, oh, that's your brother.
Sure.
So they would live with my mom here in the city, and my mom lives in the war zone, and I just remember being a kid, and like my older brother, like I didn't know it at the time, but he would like take a bump of cocaine.
Yeah, and it was just normal,
and like. He had like the tall house, like cheap beers, you know what I'm saying? Like those tall cans.
Yeah.
And he would just like you want to see something cool? And like he would squeeze it and just bust it without opening it. Just like and I was like, dude, my brother's a superhero.
He's the coolest guy.
Yeah,
he was
cool.
just coked out of his mind.
Coked out of his mind, squeezing cans. And yeah, dude. But the neighborhood I lived in, bro, that was wild. Like it was a wild neighborhood, but they looked out for you. I remember my dad was a vagrant. And he came to visit me one time when I was a kid, but I was at my friend's house like 2 blocks over. And like this other kid in my apartment complex came over and he's like, hey, I think your dad's at your apartment. And like the neighbor's going to kick his ass.
Oh, fuck.
Because they don't know who he is. He's like looking in your window.
Yeah, he's just being suspicious.
I think
like,
they ran a fade on my dad. Because when I got there, he was just on the floor like, "Oh, that's my son, I swear." Like,
what? So
all
they
these
just kicked his ass?
all these essay fools were like, "Yo," they were looking in Victoria. Like everyone knew my mom. They're like, "You're looking? Is this your dad?" I was
like, some dude that's just like creeping around the neighborhood that nobody knows.
And I was like,
looking in windows and stuff.
Yeah, that's my dad.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, okay. We're just making sure because we caught him like trying to like look in your window without trying to break in."
It's like, yeah, that's my dad, but that also, what the fuck, dad?
Yeah.
Like, can you please just keep your shit together?
Yeah, and so the SA homies were like, "Yo, we're sorry, but we're just looking out for you." And like, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
And like I remember my dad was like, "Don't leave me, please," and he like passed out, and he like would wake up every like so often and be like, "Please don't leave me, like don't leave me again." But, like I don't know what these SA fools did to him, but they ran a fade on my dad. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
but,
that's how I know you're cool. You said run a fade, and I didn't know what that meant, but I just
it just means beat up.
No, that's why I was like, man, Josh is so cool. That's one of the things I was describing you to Rosalie, who I'm down here with.
Super funny, by the way.
Oh, hilarious. Rosalie's so funny. That's one of the reasons that I brought her was because like she actually, these are her first gigs that she's doing out of the state of Colorado.
Wow.
And she just wants to be on the road more. And we were just talking about it. And I'm like, well, I'm going down to Albuquerque in like 2 months. Like you should come with me. And part of it is because like she is so funny that like I want to follow her. I like that mentality of like take somebody with you that's like really good and is gonna make you work.
Oh, dude, yeah. Last night she was fucking smashed.
Yeah, she was fucking great.
Anyway,
you had a good set too, by the way.
Thanks, bro. That was a weird room.
Yeah, it was very. Yeah,
you got like the nicest comedy club in New Mexico at Dry Heat, amazing people, and then you go to like that place, and you're just like, woof.
By the time I got on stage, there was four fucking people paying attention, and all of them were high as fuck.
Everybody was on. Speaking of crime, dude, this is where we do comedy in Albuquerque. Dude.
Yeah,
we do comedy in places that we're not gonna tell where, or really even say, but like I'm positive.
Nobody even really knows where it is. I asked somebody. I was like, "Do you guys know where I can find this place?" And they're like, "Not really. It's kind of down an alley." And I'm like, "Great, this is my life."
I've only heard of this place like through lore. I've never been there, but like literally right before I went, this dude's like, "Oh yeah, they just sell mushrooms right then and there." And I get there like, "There's illegal shit going on here."
It made me feel kind of cool though. Like the guys that were sitting there with snacks and drugs and stuff. It looked like a scene on a training day.
Yeah,
like, this might be the coolest I've ever been in my entire life.
Yeah, that was my bit. I was like, "Yo, this is where Jackie Chan comes and just start jacking dudes, dude." He's looking
busts into this
looking
warehouse.
for clues and like But you were telling her about cool slangs.
Oh no, I was telling her about you, and I was just like trying to describe you. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Josh is like kind of a stoic, chill, like gangster type. Like he's the kind of guy I don't want to fuck with, but I like him a lot. And I mean that with all respect.
I think I'm like the most ungangster dude ever. Like I have allegedly.
Well, look at me. How many people do you think I hang out with that are a gangster at all?
Allegedly, I used to have a pistol. I may or may not still have one. But I remember one time we were in Durango, Colorado, of all places, and some dude from New Mexico was just being a knucklehead, and he was like, "Yo, I got something for you, fool." Like he was trying to press our other homie Maverick. Because we were barking for this theater, so like, "Hey, come check out our comedy show." And this fool was just like,
"So while you were barking, you pulled a gun on somebody?"
Well, some guy pressed Maverick, and like Maverick's like, "Hey man, just come check out the show." He's like, "Or what, fool? Like, what the fuck you gonna do?" And you could tell he's just New Mexico trash, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just and I was like, "Hey, like, let it go, man." He's like, "Yeah, stay out of it." So, bro, like, well, you know what I'm saying? Well, start banging right here and now. What's up? And he's like, "I got something for you. I got something for you." And he kept like backing away, like, "I got something for you." I was like, "I got something for you, motherfucker."
You're like, I don't need to wait around too much.
I was like, "You gonna go get yours? I got mine." I was like, "I'm gonna either slug it out or duke it." You know, shout out Tupac. And I went to grab mine, but like, here's the thing: is that like natives have no butts, dude. And so like my pistol, when I stood up straight, I went to go get it, and my pistol just slid down my pants.
Oh,
like
for real?
In the back,
no bumper.
Yeah, dude, it had no, and it was just in the back, and I was like, "Yeah, go get yours, dude. Go get." And I was just like shaking it, and it looked so bitch.
Because right now I got my gun around my ankles.
Yeah, it looks so bitch. Trying to reach for your gun and it just slides
like
down,
struggling to pull it out of the bottom of the lapel.
Yeah, and my pants do run a little tight, so it was just like it did not look cool at all.
It would be cool if like you could kick him and it shot the gun.
It's just like pow.
Yeah, just like do like a kick to the gut and pow.
Yeah, and our homie Zach was just laughing. He's like, "That's the most ungangster thing ever when your pants slide."
We tried. We always think that in these moments we're gonna be like, it's good. We're gonna be awesome. It's
what was I gonna do? Pull it out and shoot him in Durango, Colorado, dude? You don't know.
Your best move. But yeah, I mean, because there's only like one or two roads to get in and out of that fucking place
dude,
anyway. You're just stuck in the canyon while the cops are waiting for you. Now, the neighborhood that you grew up in, was there a lot of gang activity, or was it
a lot, dude? Yeah,
because when you said like everybody's got your back, that's like the first thing that I think
yeah. So like the group of kids I grew up with were all rowdy kids, and a lot of them. My mom's been in that neighborhood so long. I remember like as a kid, it was like a poor white neighborhood, and then it was like a poor black neighborhood, and then it just went full Paisa Hispanic. Like every weekend, they were just having like quinces and paila like dances in just our little courtyard area. But it was a cool experience. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of there was definitely a gang in that neighborhood.
Was it like one prominent gang? Like, did it have a name or anything?
In my neighborhood, yeah, but like every street was like a different set.
Like
so
a different clique
Texas,
kind of thing.
I know Pennsylvania Street is like where all the druggies hung out and stuff. But I went to school in the South Valley, which is across town. Mm-hmm. And the school I went to was like the worst school in Albuquerque. Like so bad, like when Obama was like running for president, he came to our school to be like, "I am in the poor, trashy neighborhoods.
I'm with the poors.
I'm with the poors, dude." And he's like, "I am not afraid."
I like you people.
That's how I knew my school was bad, because he was like nobody else is coming here, but Obama came here, and he's like, I walk amongst the people, essentially. And
you have people like somebody come in to give you like a pep talk speech kind of thing about like you don't have to go the same route. And it was actually like your teacher. It's like somebody you went to school with. Like,
he went. Well, he did it for like the community. So like none of the students were allowed to go in.
Okay.
I remember like that day, like nobody went to class, nobody went to school. Like they Secret Service and like SWAT was on their gym and they like locked down. And, like nobody went to school.
So just like your neighborhood, a couple guys with AKs.
Yeah, like,
you're not allowed to come down this hallway.
Everyone's just watching helicopters. Like, oh, the ghetto birds are out, dude.
What a
That's
childhood!
crazy.
You can't escape it at all. Everybody's got guns. You can't go down certain places. You gotta wait to walk in.
Obama's there, but you can't meet him. I remember like he came through and I went to like shake his hand. And he like went to shake my hand, but then like somebody stole his handshake from me, dude. And I was like, motherfucker. Dude.
They're like, you'll get infected.
Yeah.
you can't talk. You can't be shaking hands with these people.
Yeah, dude. It is. Yeah, it's Albuquerque's a weird place because like everyone when people think of crime, they think of like L.A. Phoenix, Chicago, Atlanta, all these wild places. But like everyone, like nobody realizes like in the country, like Albuquerque is number 2 for violent crime, just because we're so small, and per capita, our crime is just through the roof.
I was kind of surprised at how small like the city itself
is.
Tiny. You can get from one side to the other like pretty quick.
30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I live in literally another city that's attached, and it takes 40 minutes to get down here. Yeah. But yeah, Albuquerque's a wild place, dude.
Now, what's it like? I mean, in terms of like crime safety on the res compared to like the neighborhood that you grew
that's
up
what
in?
I was getting to. Is that like everyone thinks these like weird places like, oh, they're so crime ridden, but like the res is just as crime ridden. Because there's like a lack of police on the reservation. So like that's like a weird thing. Like I've always been torn on when people are like, yo, fuck cops, all cops are bastards or whatever. But like on the res, like, yo, I wish we had more cops.
I wish we had somebody around to be like, hey, can somebody do something about this?
Like when all those people are like around taking like, why do cops need tanks? That's so stupid. That's what do cops don't need. I was like, yo, because I wish the res had tanks because like we have dirt roads and like just because like dude, like you're
some like Native American dudes that like stole a tank. They're
like,
we run this place now.
This is what happens. No, is that a dude will go crazy and there's no checks or balances on the res. So dudes just have arsenals of guns on the reservation. And so they'll have like their home that's set up right here, and they just have a long driveway that goes to the home, like a dirt road from one of the major roads. Yeah. And what'll happen is when they go crazy and start beating or killing their family, cops will drive down the road, and the guy will just be set up on the roof and take them out as they.
No, really? Dude, you've seen that shit before? Or at least heard about it?
It happened, yeah. And so a lot of times, like that's where like, oh, we need a tank to get down there because the guy's just going to set up on his roof and take out cops as you drive down a
Have you actually seen a tank come to the reservation?
No, never.
I was going to say, people say that shit, and I'm like, I don't know how many tanks I've seen patrolling the streets.
Never. But when they say tanks, I think it should mean like the armored vehicle.
Yeah, like a souped
like
up
the SWAT vehicle or something. But we don't have those, dude. And I think
there's no internal like security team or anything like that the
we have
the res hires or something.
I think they do like joint. Not now. They do like joint operations of like border towns. So like, I know they signed this bill in like the Four Corners area because like the border for the res is like right there. So like people would just commit a crime and police would chase them. And once they got to the res, that was it. The cops used to not be able to go on the res. Yeah, they just that's it. Fuck, they're in Mexico essentially. So, but now they signed this like joint operation thing. So now cops can come on the reservation.
Yeah, because they legit like not have any jurisdiction there whatsoever. Yeah. So they really can't do like anything,
sovereign,
right?
It's a sovereign nation. So when they stop somebody, they have to like call ahead of time and hopefully there's a cop in the area. Because like here's the thing: is like the res. My res is like the size of Kentucky.
And I apologize. What's the tribe again?
Navajo.
Okay.
So my res is like the size of Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the biggest reservation in the country.
Oh fuck! I didn't realize.
And we have one police officer patrolling essentially like 200 square miles.
Just like a Jim Leahy. He's just like not even really doing a job. He's just here.
So we have a police force, but they're so spread out. It's like one guy patrols 150. Yeah. So that's like the joke on like our res. Like you could murder somebody and order pizza and be done eating pizza by the time the cop gets there.
Yeah. Now, I mean, with that being said, did you guys feel like there was a little bit more ownership on you to kind of like self-police situations?
There's a lot of it. There's a lot of community policing, a lot of on the res, not so much, man, because like shit happens and it's just so scary. Like you're so just out there, like you're basically on the moon. But I heard this statistic that was like in 2012, I believe there was more unsolved murders on the reservation than in like LA and Phoenix.
Well, yeah, there's nobody to investigate them, right?
Nobody to investigate.
It just happens.
People just go missing, dude. So like. My girlfriend jokes about it all the time. She's like, I could just murder and bury you out here. Nobody ever find you.
That's so sweet, honey.
That's so cool. Yeah, that's so dope.
Is that why you're so nice to her? Yes. The threat of violence.
She's like, we could just bury people and nobody would ever notice. I'm sure that happens all the time, dude.
I think more than in most places. Oh yeah,
for sure, dude.
Yeah, it just goes from 0 to death really fast. You're like, I didn't know there was a middle ground. I didn't know I could just say I'm sorry. I didn't know that we could maybe hash this out over a conversation.
Nothing ever gets solved on the res, dude. So like you go from like that life to like come down here. I went like my younger years. I went to school like this country town, like really Christian, but it's a border town. So like you go back to the res, like oh shit,
yeah.
And then like my mom lived out here, so I had to come spend time with my mom, and it was just like nice Christian town. Boom, get a war zone.
Did you ever feel like you were treated different, like at the Christian school, like just for being native?
No.
Okay.
Well, there's like underlying
because I know
racism.
sometimes, that kind of stuff.
All
like,
border towns are very like for the most part inherently racist, but there's like the town I grew up in was like a weird middle ground. Like Farmington was like a weird middle ground, but like the outside towns around it were like super like. There's still like a Klan chapter in Farmington, so that's a good time.
Yeah, so that's where they got to set up.
Yeah, I take all my comic friends out there. Like, so where the Grand Wizard lives.
You want to go say hi? They're having a bake sale today. Yeah, they got to raise some funds.
I remember one time, me, Zach, and like 2 of our friends who were black comics. We did a show in Farmington, and like the night before, they had a Klan rally. And I don't
didn't get the invite.
I don't think it was like.
Well, how much would you have?
I don't think it was related, but we joke like, oh, that was because of.
There's definitely some people that were at the show that were at the Klan rally the night before.
Our homie Buck D was like, I know some of y'all motherfuckers were there, dude. You look like you, and they were just like.
Definitely, he's like, well, I'm not gonna say anything, but I think you're pretty funny right now.
No, dude, and like you racist motherfuckers, you guys were there, weren't you? And they're like, and then after the show, those same like dudes were like. You were definitely there. We're like, yo, come hang out with us. You guys are really funny. We're like, fuck, now we're going home, dude. We're
like, you seem like a nice enough guy, but I know where I am right now. I've got some spatial awareness.
Yeah, we're going to go. Like, you guys are funny. You guys want to come party at our barn? We're going to keep this party going. We're like, no, dude.
You want to go burn a cross?
Go burn a cross?
It's pretty fun.
It's pretty fun.
You never done it before?
You have some extra sheets or what, dude?
Fire is inherently fun. I'm not going to lie.
That's what I said, dude. Like, it's so messed up, but I like burning shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Who doesn't? I've liked burning shit since I was a little kid.
I don't back the message. You know what I'm saying? It's a horrible message, but
at least they have pyrotechnics. Yeah, just to keep everybody interested. It's cold out here at a Klan rally. You know, you got to stay warm. That's why you got to wear two pairs of sheets.
What's the difference between a cross burn and a bonfire, dude? There's none. You do same stuff. You know what I'm saying?
If anything, more organized.
You with the boys? Yeah, you with the boys. You got some beers at both of them, you know what I'm saying?
It's hard to drink through a hood, but you gotta cut a little hole in there.
You know what I'm saying?
How do you eat?
Fall activities, dude, you know?
Yeah, just flannel robes for the season.
You ever wear Ugg boots with Klan rally?
Mm-hmm. They're very comfortable.
I would.
White boots in this mud? No thanks. All right, so if you know the show at all, you know, we usually try to read some dumb crimes off of the internet, but fortunately for us, we did a live version of Interrogation True Crime Stories at Dry Heat Comedy Club on Thursday, and it was fucking dope. I'm just excited to have like a show that I can bring into a town and say, hey, I want to book locals. Like I have something to offer you. Like that's really fun. And part of the show is we have audience members like text in crimes that they've committed or been a part of.
Oh heck yeah.
Text message from Zach Abeda. Glad he isn't here. Perfect. Zach was supposed to join us today, but he got busy, which is totally fine. All right, so this kind of a crime, but man, I just thought it was pretty wild. So we'll just see what you think about this. When my grandma died, we had her mean ass cat killed. Definitely think that's a crime. Don't think you're allowed to just kill the cat.
On the res, you're allowed to, but I don't know.
Well, you're allowed to kill anything on the res. You're allowed to do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, dude.
And put in the freezer. And low-key, put the cat in the casket with the grandmother before we closed the lid forever and buried them both on a sunny November afternoon. I love how that was like...
That's beautiful.
There was a twinkle in their eye, a big smile on their face.
Dude, was this Albuquerque or was this Egypt?
This was Albuquerque.
Okay.
I was going to say, Egypt?
Is this Egypt, dude?
You're getting a sarcophagus.
You're getting callers from Egypt? That's crazy.
Yeah, and then we pulled her brains out right before we actually lowered the coffin in there.
Hook in there.
Have you ever hated a pet or an animal enough that you'd actually want to kill it?
No, I don't like pets, period, but not like we're like, I'm going to murder you.
Yeah. Somebody that steps to me the wrong way, for sure. Some fucking scrappy dude in Durango.
Some scrappy guy wearing a Cowboys jersey in Durango.
He's down.
Yeah, dude. But a cat.
Cat's safe.
I don't like you. Just don't come around me.
This just seems like it was so organized. How much hate did they have for their grandmother and this cat?
That has heavy South Valley activities, dude. South Valley that is heavy South Valley activities, bro.
There's like nothing sweet about it. It's just like, yeah, fuck that cat. That thing's been ruining our lives since we were little kids.
Wants to bring this cat to the afterlife.
All right, I thought this one was pretty dope, but we even got them to admit who it was, because that's the thing. We try to keep it anonymous, but there's some of them I'm like, is anybody willing to tell us more about this? Doing cocaine while being a PSA, working with the Albuquerque Police Department.
Oh, dude. I believe that.
I mean, honestly, if you're going to be out policing the streets, you might as well be awake and ready to pull your trigger at any moment.
The best person at their job knows their job inside and out. And if you're a drug officer, you got to know your drugs.
You got to know your product.
You got to know your product. You got to know what. You got to be able to, you know what I'm saying? Don't be a pussy.
Yeah,
I'm going to tester.
I'm going to arrest you for doing bad drugs. Here, I'll sell you some of this.
You call this drugs, bro? I shouldn't even charge you with a felony for this. This is a misdemeanor, kid. This ain't even the good stuff.
Yeah, the real crime here is that you just need a better dealer. The thing that we got him to admit was that I was like, was it good cocaine? And she was like, oh yeah, it was great. And
it was a she. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, which I'm like, if anybody does know where to get the good drugs in town, it's definitely going to be the cops.
Yeah, dude, they know.
Yeah. I mean, it has to be one of the perks of the job. You're like, listen, I know I got to bust you guys for this, but it doesn't mean we shouldn't have a good time.
I feel like Albuquerque with drugs is like green chili. You could just find that shit everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
I'm pretty sure it was in my breakfast burrito this morning.
Oh yeah, dude, you got some green chili.
Yeah, I was going to say, are these Himalayan salt in here, or is that a crack rock?
Yeah, they're like, no, it's that Walter White, bro.
That's that Walter White.
That
nice
turquoise hater, dude. Everything in New Mexico is turquoise. Our jewelry, even our meth is
even
turquoise,
the drugs,
dude.
Yeah, it's nice to stay on brand. But then I asked, did you ever do any drugs that you confiscated? And she was like, absolutely not. I'm like, wow, I love that. That's where you drew the line.
How dare you? What kind of person do you think I am?
Has some standards.
Their jaws are going back and forth. How dare you? I would never.
I'm a woman of principle. You want some of this? All right, let me see. I got caught having sex in a car. You've had sex in a car, right?
Oh, yeah.
You ever get caught?
No, actually, never.
Where's like the weirdest place you've ever had sex?
My girlfriend have sex a lot of places, dude.
Yeah? A lot of outdoors?
My girlfriend's a freak, dude. One time we let's have sex outside in the rain during a thunderstorm, and I was like, this is wily, dude. This is how natives were supposed to fuck, just in the rain. This is how natives are supposed to fuck.
Among the earth.
In the rain, dude, with mud at our feet on top of a Toyota Corolla, like the ancestors intended, dude.
What a travesty it would be if every time you fucked in a certain position, it did start raining.
Dude.
Like your own rain dance?
Yo. Josh is fucking again, dude.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's been a bit of a drought. Time to do doggy style.
Yeah, my girl has this weird thing where she's like, it's exciting. Let's get, the risk of being caught. We never been caught, though. But like the rain one was cool because it was just like, this is like a romantic movie. This is like a Jake Gyllenhaal movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's very sweet and
Ryan Gosling, dude. You know what I'm saying? Just making love in the rain. But it was like thundering, like hardcore thundering. And I was like, yo, we might die doing this. Like, fuck getting caught, but
a pretty good way to go out.
This is a cool way to go out.
Dude. It would be pretty rough if you were like just about to come though, and then you got struck by lightning. But that would be the best orgasm ever.
Yeah, dude. Just fucking
just shooting electricity straight out of your dick.
Just fucking taser insides, dude.
Just taser.
Just plasma on the inside, dude. Could you imagine finding that body? Just us. Who would find us, dude?
Oh, God, that was great. All right, last one. Felony, kidnapping, and terrorism. Misdemeanor, false reporting, and endangerment.
That makes sense.
So this was another one where like you have to elaborate. Like you can't just tell us that you got a felony for fucking kidnapping and terrorism and not explain it. So apparently what happened was they were doing like a Jackass style stunt where they put somebody in like a trunk, and they were like duct taped and like bound and gagged or whatever, and then they would pop the trunk and the guy would get out or whatever, and a cop saw it and didn't believe them. So, and it was just like maybe this guy has like Stockholm syndrome and he's just going along with it because he's been held captive for so long. And apparently it was like right after 9/11. So they were taking like all that shit super seriously.
Yeah.
So to get tacked with terrorism seems a bit egregious. And then his biggest gripe was that, like, yeah, and we did it before Jackass. They stole our idea. He wasn't upset about getting arrested at all.
That's just Albuquerque shit, dude. People just be kidnapping people.
Yeah. Did you ever get into like Jackass and like trying to do some of that stuff yourself?
I loved watching it. I loved watching it. It was like really big when I was in middle school. And I remember like kids at my mid school were like super, like the skater kids were like, we're going to skateboard off a wall into a garbage can, like the dumpster, or like run full. Like they would put like, because we have a lot of like tumbleweeds and like sticker bushes out here. So they'd put it like under like, and they would just like flip over a rail and fall into the sticker bush.
And they're like, oh man, this was even before like YouTube was a thing.
Yeah, they would film it. And I don't even know what those videos are, dude. They would film it and just never put these videos out. So this kid, his name was Dominic. I don't remember his last name, but yeah, there was just a group of kids. I'm here in Albuquerque. I went to Hayes Middle School. That should say a lot if you're from Albuquerque. Warzone shit.
You've just been to the worst places.
I went to Hayes Middle School.
Just from one bad spot.
I've never been to a nice school, but
you turned out fine.
Yeah, it's all right.
You turned out okay.
We're doing okay. We're doing fine. Yeah, dude, kids would just do weird stunts around the school. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even after school, like, you want to go film some sets? Like, we gotta go home.
No, we gotta go.
There's just a kid has a bunch of videos of these other kids doing dumb stuff around our school. Like nothing extreme. Like nothing were like, but it was just like what you would expect Jackass stunts. Like if you went in your head, you're like, let's do stuff into a garbage can, or let's run down the hallway and tackle a garbage can in the lunchroom and just get ha-has. I never did any.
Just get ha-has, just for laughs.
Or jaw-jaws, because we're in a Hispanic school.
I did. We did a lot of dumb shit when we were kids, but we used to do the same thing. We would film them without even really knowing what we would do, because we used to make skate videos and stuff a lot. Okay. So I would actually do shit with those, and then every once in a while, like CKY style, you would just throw in like a cut scene of like somebody lighting their ass on fire. Like one of the times we did that, we did it in my parents' kitchen, and my mom had like a potpourri, like she would hang like potpourri or like dry it out, like whatever, like from the flowers from the ceiling, and one of them caught fire. So then the video is just us frantically trying to put this fire out while my buddy has his pants down and still his butt's like partially on fire.
Oh, dude.
It's like the house.
That should be your intro for this podcast.
Yeah. If I could find that video, I've asked my mom so many times. She hung on to it for a while. My mom has hung on to like some of the weirdest stuff, like from when we've gotten in trouble. She had that video for a while, and then when I got caught smoking weed, she put my bong in like a Ziploc bag and then just like kept it for years. And everybody always candidly is like, well, she definitely used it. I'm like, you do not know my mom. There's no way in hell that she would ever smoke. She would not. She wouldn't even know what to do with it.
Yeah, your mom's super nice.
She's a very wholesome lady.
Very wholesome.
She's very kind. But it's just fun. She's like keeps them like a memento.
Yeah, my little boy.
But it's like it would be. She has like her own like like how some people keep like your drawing from second grade. Mm-hmm. She has like an evidence locker, just like at our house.
Yeah, dude.
Just all the dumb shit that she used to keep. She still does. She kept all of like our detention reports and stuff, like where you had to do like the what did you do, why did you do it, and what are you gonna do to like fix your behavior. And I remember one of my favorites was when I had like wiped my butt with somebody's hat one time and put it in there, but it wasn't like a lot or anything, just like a little whoop, and then I put it back in his locker, and then I had to explain why I did that. And it's like because it was fucking funny. We didn't get that on video though. I got a lot of trouble for that.
I was gonna say, I don't know, dude. I would have to stab you if you did that to me.
Probably, yeah. That's why I don't do shit like that to you. That's why I'm nice to you. Just because I know that's
wild, dude.
The threat of violence is always there.
Wild, dude.
Yeah, I was a really dumb asshole when I was a kid.
It's so funny because like coming from Albuquerque, how shitty it is, and I remember one of the first times I went to Denver to do comedy. I remember like they're like, "Oh, you're gonna do comedy in 5 Points," and like back in the day, like a lot of like my homies was like, "Yo, 5 Points is crazy.
It's rough."
Yeah, Denver 5 Points is crazy. That's where all the hood people were. 5 Points is wild. So like when I do comedy in 5 Points, I was like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna take my," you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna stay strapped up. This is crazy. I got to 5 Points, bro. I was like, "Yo, you can't be hood with breweries and patios, dude." You know what I'm saying?
You're like you're ready to roll up, like you're about to throw down, and then somebody just whizzes by on a scooter with an ice cream cone. They're like, "This is a beautiful day."
Denver's wild, son.
Yeah, I just buried my grandma with her cat. I couldn't be happier.
This is a vacation.
So one thing I did want to get into was you had a couple stories that you told me about, but so yeah, feel free to get into whichever ones you want to.
Yeah, dude, I have wild family members, dude. Like literally 2 years ago, my cousin shot at me through the wall.
For what?
We were just fighting.
Yeah, usually when people like siblings or relatives fight, there usually aren't a lot of guns.
We were having a tiff, dude, and he shot through I remember, like, because I was kicking his wall. I was like, get home, fucking. And I just remember, I went to the bathroom and, like, hit, because the bathroom was connected to his bedroom, and because it was, like, the walls are weaker there. And I just remember I, like, ducked and just went.
For real?
Yeah, dude.
With an intention to hit you.
Yeah, dude.
God.
He was hammered though. He was faded.
Okay, well that makes sense. Yeah, that makes it better.
I remember I dropped down and crawled out, and the neighbors actually called the cops, and the police were like, gunshot. I was like, we just having a little fight. Yeah, I don't know what he did with that gun.
We were just goofing.
He was hammered, and I think
did he remember doing it?
He doesn't remember where he put the gun.
Probably for the best.
He went outside and I don't know if he hit it or threw it somewhere, but he doesn't remember where he put the gun.
Yeah, usually sometimes people make like impulse purchases on QVC when they're blackout drunk, not shoot their cousin through a bathroom wall.
I gotta show you that video. I just remember that, but the video you could see the bullet hole went through into the bathroom and through the kitchen. Like the kitchen cabinet is still charred with wood. It was a trailer,
and it's still just there, right?
It's still just there.
Yeah.
It's like well, that cousin has since passed away. So in a way, I like to look at him and be like, good times, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say fond memories. You just touch the bullet hole with your hand, just like I can feel your presence.
He's still here, dude.
It's still warm.
Beautiful. But like, all right. So like when I was a kid, like I said, I had wild older brothers. Like all my older brothers are wild, and
are these like direct older brothers, like blood
cousins, I guess, essentially. But they all used to live with my mom when they were younger, because my mom is the youngest of her family, her sisters, and so all her older sisters would just leave their sons, and they just got comfortable. And when I was a kid, there's just we all, Miguel, don't say their names.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, keep that confidential.
Yeah. So like my brothers would all be at my mom's house, and I'm just in and out. Sometimes we'd be in jail, sometimes we'd be whatever.
Did you ever go to jail?
Yeah.
For?
Just like minor shit.
Okay. Like, you don't have to get into it if you don't want to.
Yeah. Like assaults, fights.
What was like the longest stint you ever had to be in?
Fucking 2 days.
2 days? Okay. Just stuff that was just like dumb shit, and then you're like,
I like to pretend I'm hard, but dude, once you go to jail, I was like, I want to get out of here as soon as I can.
You realize pretty quick, you're like, I'm not these people.
I'm not these people, dude. Not my brothers. What am I doing?
Yeah.
But so like my brothers are just always into some bad stuff. They were, gangs, whatever. Mm-hmm. And you meet him today, it's always weird. It's like one like has his own business, and like he's like a super hardcore Christian, but he still has all his gang tattoos, and it's just like, oh, okay.
Well, I mean, seems like the classic. Went to jail, like lived a different life beforehand, and then just like wanted to turn it around and hard. And I understand the sentiment of like you have to fully commit to going the other way. If you kind of like leave the door open in any way, even if you're maybe delusioning yourself to being like, I love Jesus now.
Yeah. I support him.
Doesn't matter, because you're just like, if that's better, if he's as long as that's gonna keep him out of jail, that is totally fine.
Yeah. And then like my other brother's like sober now, and it's so even his kids are like, it's so weird seeing like dad like sober.
Yeah,
like
we kind of miss him being a fucking mess.
Yeah, my girlfriend just met my brother, like the one, and she's like, your brother's so nice. I'm like, that's so. See, that wasn't.
Was that not your experience?
Yeah. What the fuck? You got the nice version, dude. I got the version we got in a fit. Like the crazy thing about my brother, like I think ever did was like we got into a fist fight in his front yard, and like he broke my leg, but I like sliced his face up.
How did he break your leg?
He fell on it.
Oh, he just fell on it. I wasn't sure if it was like a cool karate move or something.
He fell on my leg, and the way he fell on it just snapped my
the old flop on top.
Yeah. Well, I sliced his face up, and it was crazy. But like, it was just weird. Like fist fighting my brother in the front of his trailer in Farmington, New Mexico. It's like I'm native to the core, but like that's like the most redneck thing I've ever done in my life.
And then all of a sudden, some Klan members come over to help. They're like, "Hey!"
When the police were like, they arrested me because I had an unpaid ticket from like forever ago.
I don't feel like that's the real crime being committed here. Like, well, we got to get that $50.
They were like laughing. My brother was like heckling me as I'm getting arrested because he was like, I can't believe it's you in handcuffs and not me. And even the cops were like, yeah, this is so weird.
He's just standing there like waiting for somebody. He's like, is anybody going to take me in? Because I want to be the cool one in the situation.
My brother knew he wasn't going to jail. Even the cops were like, we're sorry, but
the rules.
Man, it sucks.
It's like, you don't have to do this.
And my brother was just laughing. He's like, and even the cops, because the sheriffs all know my brother. So like it's so weird being here.
You're like on a first name basis.
And not
like,
yeah. They're like, it's so weird being here and not arresting him and arresting you. What's going on?
They
like,
didn't even know what to do with themselves.
Yeah, they're like, this is so weird, bizarre night. But when we were younger, so it's an alleged story.
Alleged. Most of all the stories. All the stories are
alleged.
All the stories on the show are embellished, fabricated for the sake of comedy and making it an interesting story.
Yes. So when we were kids, my oldest brother, and he's still doing wild stuff to this day, but he got a car. He had like this old like Cutlass Supreme, you know, and it was our cousin's birthday, the one who shot at me, and he was hanging out with us, and we were like, my brother was like, yo, I'll show you a good time. I think he just on like 14 or 15 or something like that.
So real young.
Real young. And I was 9, maybe. And we're like, yo, we're gonna go, you know, get you ever got your dick wet? Dick wet, man.
Wait, to you as a 9-year-old?
My brother, my cousin.
Like, I can't even get it up yet.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
For my cousin, he was like, you ever get your dick wet, man? We get your dick wet, dude. And, you know, we always used to like go cruise. Like this is what you do in Albuquerque. You used to go cruising, you know, up Route 66.
I mean, we used to do the same thing. We would just go for like blunt cruises. Like,
well, this is like cruising, like Route 66, you know, low ridership. But we didn't have a nice car, so we would just cruise up and down Central. And in the war zone, you know, you could obviously tell it was a bad neighborhood. And I remember we went cruising one time, and he was just like, yo, I'm gonna get your dick for your birthday. I'm gonna get your dick wet, man. And he just kept saying that. We're like, what the fuck? This is weird.
That's way better than any gift my brother's ever gotten me.
He pulled off into this place right here off Central San Mateo. And it used to be a Checkers at the time. If you remember that old auto store Checkers, but it's O'Reilly's now. But it used to be Checkers. And he pulled in, and I remember like it was like super late, and he flicked his light or whatever. What are we doing? Are we gonna smoke? And I remember just being a kid because I was like, I'm gonna hang with my brothers.
You were just in like the back seat or something?
Yeah. My mom was always working. She went to school. She worked. Like my mom was super busy.
Yeah, so you want to hang with your family?
Yeah. So I'm hanging with my brothers, man. I was just in the back seat chilling, and they pulled up and like, you know, I'm gonna get your dick wet, man. And I remember just out of the darkness, dude, came this Tim Burton prostitute. Like I'm talking, she had like a round body but like super skinny legs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like straight out of a horror movie.
Just straight out of a, like, she came walking out, you know, spaghetti strap shirt.
And you don't know any better, so you're like, this is everything a woman should be.
This is insane. I was just like, what? And I think they honestly forgot I was in the back seat just because they were, you know what I'm saying? My brother was wild. He was the only brother I know that drink and drove. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he was like smoking and drinking, whatever. And my whole family knew he's crazy, but whatever. So I think he was just forgot I was in the back seat.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of sitting there like, what? And I just remember this girl came out, and she was just not round body, skinny, spaghetti strap, like flip flops, like not even respecting the prostitute uniform. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I was gonna say, at least give it a little effort.
Put some effort into it. And I remember she came over. She said, "What's up, babe?" And she leaned in the window. And I know my brother knew her because he was like, "Yo, you know, what's up, baby? Good to see you." La la. And he's like, "Yo, I'm trying to get my brother's dick wet for his birthday. How much?" And she's like, for 15, I'll suck you off. And I remember she said, I'll never forget this, but for 25, you could do whatever you want to me.
That's all it took?
Dude.
An extra $10?
Dude, an extra $10.
That's a deal.
Desecrate the temple, dude.
You can do whatever you want.
And
to
my
me
cousin
for an
was like,
10.
dude. Yeah, dude.
You get a discount. I was going to say, it's not even 30.
It was not,
off.
It was a while. And like, so my cousin was in the passenger, and he was like freaking out, like, I don't want to do this. And she's like, don't be scared, babe. And I remember she started to like climb over my brother, and like to like, it's you kind of cute, you really cute. And he's like, I'm gonna leave if you don't. I'm gonna jump out the car and run away.
Climbing
I'm
into
gonna
the
run
vehicle.
over. I'm gonna run over. I'm gonna run away. And like like, I don't know. I guess my cousin like offended her because she like started pulling out. And he's like, well, what is he? Maybe he's gay. He's a fucking fag, whatever.
It's like, hey, you don't need to bring that into this, right?
Like, whoa.
No name calling just because we walked up and you're not exactly what we were expecting.
Yeah, dude. So like my brother's laughing, but he's dying laughing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just in the back seat like, what is going on? Mm-hmm. You know that weird, like when you're a kid, like when you know like stuff's bad, like almost like a fight, like an argument, your heart is just like,
you can just like sense that something's wrong and you're not exactly sure why.
Yeah. That's how I was going, like, I shouldn't be here either. But it was a 2-door. I couldn't get out even if I wanted to. I was in the back seat.
You're just along for the ride. Yeah. Just kind of like, I have $25.
Yeah, I was like, you know what I'm saying? I got a Rugrats sweater. I
mowed the lawn this week. I got enough money.
And so like she backed out. Oh, shit, my bad. She backed out, and I remember like she like was pissed off, and my brother was laughing. He's like, I guess whatever. You don't want to get his dick wet. We'll see you next time. And she's like, no, you still owe me money.
What?
And like the mood flipped. Like she was like, what's up, baby? Blah. But then after the mood flipped, she's like, you still owe me money. And my brother's like, for what? You didn't do nothing.
Yeah, with your conversation.
Yeah, you didn't do nothing. And she's like, nah, you still owe me money. You wasted my time. My time's precious. You wasted my time. You owe me money. And my brother's like, I ain't paying you shit. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So they start arguing, and that's when my heart really started like. And I just remember that feeling of like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh,
like I just want to watch Rugrats.
Not good, dude.
I just want to go back and watch
Nickelodeon. When people argue as a kid, there's a weird, like your body like just gets like cold but hot. You know, my heart was thumping. My stomach felt sick.
You kind of like go invisible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you try to like just not like get involved at all and don't really know what to do.
And they start yelling like, fuck you, bitch. And he's like, oh, fuck you, motherfucker. He's like, yeah, you owe me money. And he like turned his car on. And then she's like, no, you ain't leaving. And she jumped in front of the car. And then she's like, no. And she started hitting the hood. Bam, bam. Like, you owe me money, motherfucker. And then she started saying, like, looking back, she's like, Reggie.
Yeah, you don't Reggie.
Like Reggie involved. I'll fucking never forget that. That's the greatest pimp name to this day is a Reggie, dude. Reggie. Oh, you fucked up now. You're going to die, motherfucker. And my brother's like, yo, move, bitch. I'm going to run you over.
This ain't her first time doing this. She's like, I ain't getting paid. Yeah, this ain't her first night.
Yeah, and remember, it's all alleged, by the way. This is all for funsies. And she was just like, oh, I'll kill all you dead motherfuckers. Just Reggie. Reggie never came.
There's no Reggie?
Reggie never came,
It's all
dude.
a bluff.
Yeah, so my brother cranked the car, and he's like, move, bitch. I'll fucking run you over. And she's like, do it, motherfucker. She hit the car. And my brother, I remember he just, and he like floored it out of the, and I remember she tried to like jump. Or maybe I'm making, I don't, but she like tried to avoid getting hit.
Yeah, that's usually what you would do. And it seems like the move.
And I just remember this side of the car went up. Like,
oh God!
I just went. I'm crying. Like I'm like, oh.
Yeah. You're like, I just wanted to hang out with my brother.
I just wanted to hang out, dude. I just fucking stayed home, dude. And it's wow. And I remember, like, I looked back. I was like, I've never, I don't know what impelled me to look back. And I looked back. I was like, oh, I'm going to see this fucking dead body or whatever. Like, this girl on the floor, agony and pain, dude. And I was just, like, crying. I remember looking back, and, dude, she shot up like the fucking Terminator, dude. Unaffected, dude. Yeah, dude. And she starts running, dude. Running at us.
Straight up on a
Fuck you, dude. Flip-flops gone, dude. You know what I'm saying? Flip-flops. She was barefoot running. Like, her chi-chi was out. You know what I'm saying? And I remember, like, looking. Like, now I was like, we got to get out. And because at the time, the parking lot is like an L-shaped parking lot to get back. So we can't just go. So we had to go around the corner, around this little barrier to go out.
Yeah.
She cut across the barrier.
She knew.
She fucking running, dude. I
exactly what route to take.
Dude, my heart was, I was scared. Wow, it's an old Cutlass Supreme,
yeah, this is a dangerous situation.
And dude, she was fucking running. Fuck you, I'll kill you, motherfucker. Wow, went up down San Mateo, cut right, just went up towards Lomas, and dude, like I remember like crying, and like me and my cousin were scared, like just terrified, like oh
yeah, of course, you don't know what to do with yourselves.
My brother was unaffected by this, and he's just like, yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Isn't that wild?
That's wild, huh? Let's, we'll go back to the house and just kick it. He stopped by the store, got a couple 40s, and we went home. And I just remember, like, he just didn't bother him.
Just didn't faze him.
And lately, I remember he's like, hey, just don't say nothing to your mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We met a nice lady the other day.
I remember I told my mom that story like 4 or 5 years ago, and she was just like, yeah, sounds like
sounds about right.
Sounds like him.
Sounds like it checked out. Now, is this a brother that's like he's like doing better now?
No,
not so much.
Yeah,
he's still on his shit.
He's still on his bullshit.
Yeah,
he's in Texas now.
Yeah, well,
and he's still running scams. Like the last scam I heard he ran was like a month ago. Like he went to like a U-Haul to rent a truck, and then they were just like, needed my license and stuff. They're like, no, we don't need it. Just bring it back by the end of the day.
Oh, that's on them.
And then he
was
go
like,
ahead and say, well, I'm not bringing this car back.
Of course.
Like he stripped it out, and so yeah.
He's got a nice shiny new U-Haul to drive around.
He was just a wild cat.
You could put tons of dead prostitutes back there. Just tons of room.
And I remember like he was always like into some stuff, man. He was always like, like when he got back here in Albuquerque, me and my girlfriend went to go see him, and I was like, I want you to meet my brother. I'm glad she didn't. She's like, I'm gonna stay in the car. And I remember like the TV in the motel was gone, and he had some different TV in there, and he's like, "Oh, the fire department gave me this." I was like, "I don't think
that's not how that works."
I don't think they gave you this, dude. The fire department just gives out TVs like this. Dude.
Yeah, like Santa Claus just driving around with a bunch of Samsungs in the back.
I remember he took us on our first beat.
What a terrible lie, by the way. Like, even if you just say somebody gave it to you.
The fire department gave it to me.
No, they were having a raffle, and you took it off the table.
His kids, my nieces and nephews are my niece is 2 years younger than me, and my nephew's 3 years younger than me. They're my age essentially. So like, they feel more like my sisters and brothers than he does than they do. So like, I remember when I was 12, he took us on our first B&E, like breaking and entering.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah, dude. Because like that was his scam. Like whenever the kids were around, he's like, "I'll watch the kids. Just leave me a car so I can take them to the park and shit like that."
Where he really was just recruiting you guys to do his bidding.
He was just recruiting us to like so he could get the car and take it.
Honestly, kind of smart. I mean,
Yeah,
if he's going to do it.
I'll watch the kids. Give me some money so I can feed them. You guys can go do whatever you do. I'll watch the kids. Just give me the money in the car so I can take them to the park, whatever. And his kids were like, "Yeah, we're going to the park." And like, he was like, "Yeah, I'll take you guys to the park. Let's go to, you guys want to go to the park?" Like his idea of like taking us out was like taking us to like Lobo Field and putting us over the fence so we could run on like the college football field.
Yeah.
When it was, you know what I'm saying? And I remember he was just cruising up and down. He's like, "Yo, we're going to go get ice cream. We're going to go get Wendy's, the Frosties." And we was like, "Yeah, we're going to go get Frosties." And we never went to go get Frosties.
We never got them.
We were cruising up and down the street.
Well, now I don't like them as much. It's like, if you're going to have us break in and enter something, can we at least get a Frosty afterward?
And I don't remember because we pulled up to this bar, and I remember he like looked and like he saw a group of people who had jumped him previously. You know what I'm saying? Like these dudes just jumped him, and I remember he pulled over and he's like, "Yo, hang out here right quick. I'll be right back." And he parked in this bar, dude, and he left like me and 3 other kids in the car, and he went inside and like came back out like 15 minutes later with this dude, and he's like, "Hey, we're gonna take this guy home. Don't worry about it. You know, he's my friend. Don't worry about it."
Yeah, he just made a new friend.
And I remember like we're all sitting in the back seat and just like, "Yeah, da 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 da."
He seems cool.
Yeah, he's cool. So we went back to this dude's house, and he's like, "I'm gonna go," and he was like, "We're gonna go to this dude's house," and I remember the guy's like, "Oh," and he pulled aside. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna take this guy in the back." He's like, "When I go back there, I want you to take as many DVDs and CDs and whatever." He's like, "Whoever takes the most, I'll buy you extra ice cream."
That's all. I mean, dude, that's the thing. He's like, you need a team.
His youngest daughter was so stoked. She's like, "I'm gonna get everything."
Just get excited about it, make it a game.
And we like, yeah. He's like, "Yeah." So whoever gets the most, I'll get you ice cream. So we're like, "Oh, that's sad."
This is the most criminal like Easter egg I've ever heard.
We went into this house. We're all sitting there. I remember we're like, "Ooh, we're gonna wait." Ooh, we had a lot of CDs. Ooh, it'll come up good. And then my brother like took it. Was like, "All right, yeah, let's go smoke, whatever, smoke a joint or whatever." And he looked at us and he's like, and so like he went to the back. And
you got this, right?
And these kids, like, well, my youngest niece, bro, she went out. She was little, but I remember she took a bunch of stuff. She tried taking like the DVD player and.
It's ruthless.
I remember I was like kind of scared. I was like, we probably should be, but I still took I had like a little stack. I was like, well, this is good. Let's go outside. Yeah. And he's like, go to the car. And we went to the car, and he just came out, and we just left. And he's like, oh, you guys, we're gonna get you ice cream because there's a place over here you could like sell DVDs and CDs for like cash, but they would jip you out of money.
It's like 50 cents. How much could you possibly?
Yeah. I remember he went in there, took it in, and he came out, and he was like, yeah, we're gonna go get ice cream. We never got ice cream, dude.
This son of a bitch
took us all the way home and like just left us at home and took the car and dipped.
Listen, I can get down with like committing some crime. I can get down if you got to commit some crimes to get some money or whatever. But stop lying to the kids about getting ice cream.
Yeah.
Do you just have PTSD about having ice cream these days? You just like I don't
eat ice cream, bro. You know what I'm saying? Also because I'm lactose, but yeah, it's a big reason. But I remember like I tell my nieces and nephews, you remember when your dad took it? And they're like, yeah, that's so crazy. And then they tell me stories of stuff he would do with them, and I was just like, he was insane. He was crazy.
Yeah, he's just a wild
dude. I remember like Thanksgiving. One time, and this is when we were older. Like we were all able to drive and shit. And he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna drop this car for you, so you can go to Thanksgiving with the family tomorrow. But take me over here to my friend's house." And me and my nephew were like, "Oh fuck, here we go, dude." And so like we drove. He started drinking and shit. My nephew's like, "Yo, Dad, I'll drive. You don't have to fucking drive. Like I'll drive. You're gonna be drinking." And he's like, "Don't be a pussy, man." My nephew's like, "No, bro, I just don't want to pussy. I just don't want to die."
Yeah,
dude.
I just know how you are. I'm just trying to help.
I'm just trying to. Yeah. My nephew still doesn't talk to his dad really. It's just, fucked up, but whatever.
Yeah.
And when we went back, we lived on the west side at this time near the South Valley. We came back up this side to the war zone, my old neighborhood. And I know the street, Pennsylvania, is where all the drug dealers hang out. And I remember we pulled up and we parked, and he's like, "I'll be right back." Hang out. I was like, "Oh fuck, bro!" And he took the keys. So we're just kind of sitting there, like, "Fuck, this is." And the iPad had like just came out. Like my nephew had just got an iPad, and I remember like, "This is so crazy." And it was like an old Toyota Corolla, like a 4-door. Mm-hmm. And he remember when we sat the iPad in like the center, and we were just like, "Oh, like this is technology.
This is cool." Yeah, I was gonna say, wow, so the future, it's right here.
And then I like people started like it was late, like hood folks are coming around and like looking. Like I remember one dude came up and he's like, you know what I'm saying, doing like whistles and shit.
It was like they got something good.
I didn't realize like, yo, like we're enjoying technology, but on the outside looking in, this white car with like this screen in the center console, I was like, we look like fucking cops, dude.
Yeah, right? Fuck, just keeping like surveillance cops, on everybody. I was
like, we look like cops, dude. I remember my brother came out and he's like, "Here's the keys. I'll be out in like 20 minutes. Don't leave though." I was like, "Hey, we're gonna go to the store up the road.
We are absolutely leaving.
We'll be back for you, dude." And he's like, "All right, we'll just." I was like, "Just call us when you're done." So we backed up and we went to the Circle K up the road, and I was just like, "Oh!" And I had just got this fly ass like Levi bomber jacket, dude, brand new.
You feel like
Levi
you're looking
bomber.
fresh.
I was like, "Ooh, I was looking good." But
best looking cop here.
We were staying, it's one of those ones where you can't go inside. You have to like do the little window.
Okay.
And we were ordering. Me and my nephew were just talking. And I remember this dude who came in like around the corner, and he was the guy that whistled. And he walked up, and he was standing behind us. And I was like, "Oh, we were just eating Doritos and shit." And he's like, "Where you from, fool?" And like when somebody asks you where you from, like, "Oh, we're about to get into some shit, man."
Yeah, that's the sign.
I was like, "What's up, man?"
That's the line.
And he's like, "Where you from, fool?" And I was like, "I'm from here, eh?" And he was like, "No, I ain't never seen. Where you from, though?" I was like, "I live here. This is my neighborhood." He's like, "I ain't never seen you before. Where you from?" I was like, "I ain't never seen you before, bitch."
Yeah.
And like,
well,
you can't be a bitch in your own hood, bro.
No,
I was like, "I never seen you before, bitch." And he's like, "Nah, you motherfuckers, I smell fucking cop, dog. Y'all pigs, man. Y'all fucking cops. I know a cop when I see one." I was like, "I know fucking cop." I was like, "I live in this neighborhood." He's like, "I've never seen you before." I never seen you, bitch. He's like, "Where you live at?" I was like, "I live off of Utah. Fuck you." And like I got into this big argument, and I was like, "Oh, dude, I'm gonna get in a fight with this guy, this ghetto ass Circle K."
Yeah, I was gonna say, is this where it's gonna go down?
But again, I had like nice jeans, a fly ass jacket I just bought, dude, and a fresh haircut, and I realized, I could look more like a cop.
Yeah,
dude.
He's like, he's got a point.
I was like, he does have a point. That's not how people in this neighborhood dress, dude. And I remember like, "Yo, fuck y'all cops, man. I know y'all cops."
And
man.
you've never even seen this guy before,
Never
right?
in my life seen this guy before. But I also don't go down Pennsylvania for that reason. Mm-hmm. And I remember he's like, "Fuck y'all, I know y'all cops." And he went around the corner, and just then my brother called. And he's like, "Hey, pick me up." I was like, "Where you guys at?" I was like, "We're at the Circle K. I'll walk towards you guys." So I was like, "All right, whatever." So we get in the car, go back down to pick him up. And my brother just happened to run into that dude. And like we pull up, and my brother was talking to him, and he's like, "Oh, that's my ride." And he's like, "Oh, they fucking cops, man. You a cop too?
Oh
you
no,
a fucking cop?"
I was gonna say he's just trying to take down everybody.
Yeah, bro. And my brother's like, "Well, I ain't no fucking cop." And he's like, "Nah, they cops, man. You selling you in a fucking." And my brother's like, "Bitch, I'm old enough to be your fucking dad, man." And like they started like getting into it.
Yeah,
like getting into
this
it.
Guy's
like,
he's gonna fight somebody.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I was like, "Oh shit, dude." And after they scrapped out whatever, my brother got in the car and he's like, "All right, dude, go, just drive." So we went around the block like twice, and then we couldn't find that guy. I don't know what for. We pulled back up to where my brother was, and he's like, "I'm gonna stay here. You guys just take this car and go." He's like, "If you can go driving, don't go over this way or that way."
Just gonna stay.
Yeah, he's
just gonna hang out,
here.
see what happens.
I was like, "You gonna stay here in this neighborhood where this guy almost killed us?" All right, dude, whatever. But yeah. And we went home. We went straight home after
Happy
that.
Thanksgiving.
We went straight home after that. And I know he was just up night. He showed up to the Thanksgiving party just gacked out of his mind.
Yeah, just fucking loaded.
I was like, "Oh fuck, dude, he's on some shit."
Well, I don't think you're a cop.
I think
and if not, you're the coolest cop I've met. Which is saying a lot.
Yeah, dude, I will do drugs, just not from evidence.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, keep it legit.
Yeah, we'll keep it legit, dude.
Well, dude, thank you very much for joining the show.
Dude.
Yeah, bro, I love talking to you. It's really good to see you. You're funny as hell. Where can people find you on social media? And
dude, Instagram, Savage1 on Instagram, Savage0NE on Instagram, or just go to my website, joshfournier.com. I have a website now.
Yeah,
has all my dates on there. Yeah, check it out, joshfournier.com.
Yeah, you're legit, bro.
We out here, dude.
Yeah, man. But I'm stoked to be down in Albuquerque to hang out with you guys and at Dry Heat Comedy Club. It's really awesome. My friends opened this spot up. It's a beautiful room. They've got really amazing shit happening. So if you're in the Albuquerque or New Mexico like area or whatever, make a point to stop at Dry Heat Comedy Club.
Dry Heat shows every other night, essentially every weekend. Yeah. So they're great shows, and we have some dope people coming through, like Corey and other headliners.
Nice.
Yeah, come to Dry Heat Comedy, dude.
Tight.